Your youth is your most valuable asset. Now, I'm not saying you got to throw it back to anyone, but guys, it's really like, if they're going to ghost you, they're going to ghost you. Should men and women wait to have, or I don't want to say should, because you guys can do what you want, but would you recommend that men and women wait to have sex until they're married? Okay, we're gonna watch some TikToks. All right, so this is of a girl that did it. Oh, the internet.
This is something I have never talked about publicly, planning on it, but I felt like recently that I should. So here we go. I am someone who waited till marriage. Before you scroll, I'm not gonna.
And by the way, half the girls that waited till marriage, backdoor and gluck gluck. That's how they get around it.
Judge, I'm not gonna condemn. This is about me. I think the reason why I didn't talk about it is because I feel like the people who do talk about this online, 1, are super weird about it, 2, are super cringe, 3, will condemn people about it or be like, this is the way you need to do it, and I'm not doing any of those things. So you do you. I'm just telling you my experience. The main reason why I did this was honestly for my faith. And so
guys, I hear you guys saying, but STD is in the chat. All right. You can get an STD if you're married. We're going to do an STD show on Friday to give you guys an in-depth, like what your risks are, basically. But one of the guys I interviewed that has herpes, he got it from his fucking wife. Like, he got it in marriage. You don't know what people are doing.
Decision pretty early on in my life that I was going to wait. The reason on top of this is I don't love hookup culture. I think the whole thing is very toxic for me. Like, I want to bring back like this chivalrous age. We don't want to go back too far because I like the right to vote. I do think that there's a lot of benefits to waiting. Completely disagree with you have to test drive the car before you buy it. Like, I think that's completely false. The phrase has nothing.
Can you imagine? You do the whole waiting. You dedicate the rest of your life to this woman. And then she says, God says I can't gluck gluck. That happens to guys. I know. And I'm going to tell you guys anecdotal stories. There's a guy in England. He waited till he was married. And he was from a really religious background. And she just had a really low, she either had a low sex drive or a low sex drive for him. Now you have to remember, guys, the number one consumers of OnlyFans are white Christian men. So to me, that's saying that this whole waiting thing isn't really working how we thought. So
to do with love, which is what marriage is all about. In our culture, we've gotten lost in the sauce, no pun intended, about what marriage is for and what specifically is meant for. I made the decision that I wasn't going to do that before marriage, as well as not live with my partner. I just seen it end so badly with so many people. I think it makes things messy if the situation gets abused.
And they say you don't need to test drive before you buy it. And I'm like, who wouldn't test drive a car? Like, and this isn't just a car. This is like a car that can literally kill you. Like, this is a car that can fuck you for life. And this is a car that's supposed to, like, think about this. This is a car that's supposed to provide a service, and the service is, fucking. And the car salesman is like, you know what? You got to prove you really want this car before you buy it. Yeah, this car has had other drivers, but we can't let you test drive. Now, you might want to do that, but it's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb.
Super toxic. It's so much harder to get out of the situation. Self-protection, I think it was important for me to not live with my partner before getting married. Sometimes in society we make so much serious things unserious, and I feel like we need to bring back the seriousness of like some sacred things. I didn't want anything distracting me from really getting to the bottom of who that person was and if I could see a life with them. I feel like for me, not waiting.
Now, by the way, maybe waiting for marriage would work if these women were waiting, but women are not. They're just effing.
Until marriage would have been a distraction, I wouldn't have ended up with the right person. Thank God I did. I think sometimes...
Pearl, ultimately what you're saying is the personality and the internal of the woman is more important than her character. Well, what good is okay, what good is the woman's personality if she's not hot and wanting to get down and not wanting to throw it back? Like, what? If she could be a good person, but if she doesn't throw it back, what good is she to you? That's why, it's interesting because I keep hearing about this bloodline thing. And I was thinking, women almost choose betas to give to, like, give their bloodline or whatever out of necessity. I don't think it's like the flex a lot of these trad cons make it out to be.
This is misconception.
The flex is banging a girl in 30 minutes after meeting her. That's flex. I've seen the PUAs do that. Oh my God. The PUA I had on my show a few weeks ago. I was at a thing in Vegas and I went to one of his boot camps. I just wanted to see. I saw him take home 2 girls in the same day. I was horrified. I didn't think that happened. I was a lot younger. This is like when I first got into the, yeah.
And that people wait because they're trying to go back to like.
Yeah, and the reason Doug says women need to have sex with the guy as soon as possible. Yeah, and that's what I would say. After a certain age, because you have to ask yourself, what's more valuable, your youth, your time, or your purity? And we got to do this thought exercise. I know men like to, women, don't let these guys lie to you. Don't let them lie to you. There's a lot of women with low body counts that are 50, but they're not signing up for those. Your youth is your most valuable asset. Now, I'm not saying you got to throw it back to anyone, but guys, it's really like, if they're going to ghost you, they're going to ghost you. If you do it on date 3, like the thing is, especially, I know how these like players think. And one, you're not going to outsmart them. You're really not. They've thought through everything. But like basically, if you put up too much resistance, they just start selling you boyfriend. They just start like if you need more comfort, that's what they teach the guys, to give the woman more like comfort, so she thinks it's more long term in order to get the punani. Yeah, I mean, you just kind of got to wait and see. Do it. And then you can find out if he likes you or not. But most women aren't gonna like tell you this, but yeah, I mean, basically the guys that fall for that I'm more attracted to the women that make me wait, and they like see the women that make you wait as more virtuous. You guys have to understand, the women that make you wait longer see you as more of a sucker. Like that's how I'm the only one that's like being honest with you. Like women, when they like, the PUAs have a term for this. They say she should pull you. You shouldn't pull her. She should pull you, because these guys can build up the attraction so much to the point that the women are pulling the guys home. And you might think, no, that can never happen. These guys are meticulous. I am telling you. They told me how they cheat on their girlfriends. And it was so good. Like, I'm like, ladies, there's no way you could catch them. There's just no way. Like, they have thought through. Like, there's one guy that he was having trouble with, like, the hair women left. So he just bought, like, a 3-bedroom house, and each girlfriend would have a different room he would stay at. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, attraction isn't negotiable. Yeah, I know. But the trads, that's what they... And the thing is, if women can easily wait till marriage with you, I want you to understand that it's with you. Like it's you. Now, if she's ripping your clothes off and you say, honey, we gotta wait. Okay, I could maybe see that work. Like, that dynamic is at least a little better, but that's not the dynamic I see in churches.
Traditional patriarchal things, and that's like not the reason why I did it. For me, waiting was more empowering than anything else. Now, was there times I thought this was dumb? Absolutely. Was there times I questioned God about the whole thing? Absolutely. Even when I finally got married, I did question, was the pain...
Now, I want to guess if her husband's going to be like traditionally masculine or feminine. I don't know. I'm going to click on the page after.
...of waiting all worth it? Because guys, when you're dating someone you love, it's really rough, and sometimes it does take a toll to wait. But now that I'm officially a year into my marriage, I can say it was 100% worth waiting. Now, let me clarify.
I just don't know, what would the difference be? Like, okay, I know somebody, right? And this person's been married 40 years. And my whole life, this person said, wait till marriage, wait till marriage, wait till marriage. And this person had a 40-year marriage. And I thought that was, they fooled me on this too. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, that has to be the right way. There's all these studies or whatever. And then I found out what this woman did was she got pregnant 3 months after meeting the dude. And I'm like, so really the advice you should have been giving me was to just, get right to it, I guess. Get pregnant. Now, I'm not saying to do that, right? But I was like, damn, I would have been married 5 years ago if you just said, get right to it. I'm kidding, but half kidding. But this is what a lot of the trads do, right? They say, wait till marriage. And you ask, well, what did you do? And none of them waited. And you think to yourself, like, imagine if I had $1 billion company and you were like, well, how did you do it? Can you tell me how to do it? And then you say, well, you got to do it this other way. And you're like, no, tell me how you did. I want to know what you did. And if I saw, the problem is, what happened to me anyways, is if I saw like a traditional relationship, like the people that sign up for this, if I saw a really masculine guy and a feminine woman that seemed really happy, I'd sign up. But instead I get like the Trent Horns. Trent Horn's wife's like mouthing off saying she wants to fuck the pastor instead of him, like on a podcast, And, hold on.
Some things. Waiting till marriage does not mean God's going to fix all your problems. And I absolutely still believe.
Yeah, and it takes the burden of performance off of women because, oh my gosh, you guys don't even get to have like the I want him to marry me sex. Oh, you're going to miss all of that. The best sex you'll ever get is a woman trying to get a ring. Most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing the societal issues that we discuss on this show. Did you know that the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every single week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what the average was 50 years ago. Testosterone levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Chalk, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Chalk's Male Vitality Stack contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the many ingredients in the Male Vitality Stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost total testosterone 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity, you're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack right now on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name Pearl as your coupon code and you'll get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name Pearl is the discount code. And oh my gosh, because we all know women are bad people. I'm thinking about this further. Not all. But I'm thinking about this further. Women, we all know that the worst sex is married sex. And it's because women, like, you being a good guy, like, our attraction to you is basically how much we hate you. That's the unfortunate part. It's not fun as a woman. She'll be like, I hate him, but I want to, So, but basically, guys, what I'm saying, the best sex is the sex before marriage. Every guy gets married and says the sex is terrible. So the guys waiting, they don't even get to experience the best sex. They get the worst sex off the bat. Like they just go right to the worst sex ever. Like the best sex is her, she thinks you have other girls and she's trying to get you away from the other girls. Then the next best sex is she's trying to get a ring. And now you're just skipping all the and the guys, they're opting into this because God, like basically the preachers are coming and are like, we need somebody to marry these whores. Oh, what are we going to do? Guys, you have to wait till marriage because God. Well, the women aren't waiting till marriage. No. God. It's just an L. It's an L. And look, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but part of that I come from a pretty religious background, and I just would see how a lot of these ideas panned out in real life over time. Like, I'll give you an example. In college, these girls would be in situationships for like 3 years. And I was like, they're so dumb. You know, he's never going to settle down with them. That's never going to work. And I really thought, I was like, we'll just leave. Like, he's never going to date you. They're all married and pregnant now. It does work because men do reward loyalty, and they just took shit for a while, and then he did. Like, I always hear these women say, well, if a guy's waiting this long to marry you, he's never going to do it. That's not what I've seen. I've seen the last wedding I went to pulled the trigger after 7 years. Other wedding I went to pulled the trigger after 10 years. Other wedding I went to 4 years. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, if anything, the people that rush into it, I see them get divorced pretty fast, like within 3 years. Anyways, but yeah, you're basically you're saying, let me have the worst sex of my life. Let me opt in.
Even education. You need to be educating yourself, even if you are waiting. It's ignorant and harmful not to know. If you're someone who's on the fence about waiting until marriage, I'd encourage you to pray about it, think about it. It could be a really beautiful thing when you find the right person. I'll say waiting until marriage really kept me from a lot of toxic situations that I could have been left in. It allowed me to get out way quicker than I probably could have if I didn't do otherwise. So it's super vulnerable for me to share. Please be nice in the comments section.
All right, let's see if she has. Let's see the. Oh my gosh. So let me get this straight. Her top thing. Do you see what I mean? Like, this is the trad girl that waited till marriage. Now. I can't. Okay, here's the husband. Let's see who signed up.
This is going to be the biggest test of our marriage, and no matter what happens, we have to know it's us.
Let's see. We got to decide alpha or beta in the chat. We got to do the poll.
No matter the result of this, I will always love you.
This is going to be the biggest test of our marriage.
Let's see. I mean, he's already a super simp because his girls all... Yeah. Half of these are just marketing for the next guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like... Because basically, if the religious people, they're trying to say this works. And what they'll always do is they'll cite some studies, right? But at some point, the studies, and I've cited some of these studies. It's a little bit embarrassing now. I've cited some of these studies, but like at some point, I have to see it play out in real life. Like I have to be like, oh, if I look at the people that did it, their marriages look like super different. Like super, and I see them look worse, if I'm being honest. Like at least the guy in the beginning
got... It's amazing to me. How much?
Oh shoot! At least the guy in the beginning got that like toxic sex first, you know.
Controversy.
The guys, these poor men don't even get to experience it. They don't even know what genuine desire is. They never get it because you're starting the relationship. Women, it's like if we want to bang you, you got to make us insecure and you got to get rid of the comfort. And so, but you're starting the whole thing and just putting all the comfort up front. She doesn't have to work for it. Not even gluck, you know.
Types of videos get whenever we post about it.
Yeah, this is the typical Yeah, okay. So this is they waited till marriage. She's got a nose ring, hoop earrings, and looks dead inside. And he also looks miserable. Does that look like a happily married guy?
So I think that we should talk about it. For context, Jacob and I have been married for 3 years, and we did wait to have sex until marriage, and we also waited to kiss until marriage.
Oh my God. They waited to kiss.
It's something that we really felt convicted by God to do as Christians, and we wanted to honor.
Do you see the humiliation in his eyes while his wife puts their sex life on the internet? Like, do you see how humiliating that is?
God in our relationship, and it ended up being like one of the best things we've ever done. I can speak from
And I'm serious. What would be, because I'm thinking of this couple that's been married 40 years. They had sex, they got pregnant, and then they got married. What is the difference? Like, to me, I'm like, and then the worst part is these women will virtue signal to me like they're somehow better. And I'm thinking, I'm like, how are you better than the couple that just started banging in high school and stayed together for life? Like, what is the difference? Pearl, listening to you woke me the F up. You pimped me back to life. Can't thank you enough. Much love to you. Thank you, K Casino. I appreciate it. Yeah, okay, let me continue.
myself personally that I've never been with anyone before besides Jacob, so my only experience has been with him. So
Your simp husband might believe that, honey, but I don't. Nope.
So there's no comparison or idea that I have of what it would be like to be with someone else.
I'm coming from the other side of this conversation. So before I met Taylor, before I gave my life to Jesus.
Yeah, I hear the same, like, kind of simpiness in the voice. Unfortunately, but it's not like a deep,
I did not wait until marriage. So I have test driven the car and done all of those things. And I can just say and testify.
I mean, that's at least better. Like, he at least was effing around too.
In my own life, that it's a complete lie. So everything I ever experienced before Taylor, where I didn't have an emotional connection, I was in an unhealthy place. I was just focused on the physical gratification. The connection that I would have.
How gay does he sound right now? This sounds gay.
Or lack thereof was so minimal and not even comparable to what I now have with Taylor. Our sexual connection is far beyond anything I ever could have experienced outside the context of marriage. So I can actually testify against those comments because I've lived that out. And I'm telling you that one way is completely empty, but God's way is so fulfilling.
And without going into too much detail, we also get a lot of comments of people saying like, oh, their wedding night sucked, or their honeymoon isn't going to be good. And we just want to come against that because that definitely was not the case for us at all. I think because Jacob and I were such good friends and had such a good foundation of like...
we were friends first. He's cooked. He's done.
love and commitment to one another.
You can also tell who runs the relationship by who talks first. Does she look to him to talk, or does she talk? And if she starts, she usually runs it. The best position to be in is the good luck Chuck position. Seeing a girl I had a few month fling with in a new long-term relationship, knowing he's not getting anything proprietary is so satisfyingly funny.
Before our wedding night, it just made it so special.
Yeah, and I think the world's interpretation is that in order to be good at sex, you have to give way to perversion, and that's a total lie. You don't have to engage in sexual acts with other people in order to learn how to.
The ladies in the chat know that's not true. Not for guys. Let's come on, guys.
Be good at sex. What about
now? I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. Right? I'm not saying waiting till marriage. Like, you could argue that it's morally right if you believe in the Bible, right? According to your religion. I'm arguing it doesn't work in 2025. That's what I'm arguing. I'm arguing you can't pray these hoes back into marriage. You just can't.
Concept of entering into it with somebody, communicating with them through love, and doing things for each other, not for the selfish gratification of yourself. but actually for the love and the sake of the other person. That's what it's supposed to be about. And you can never experience what that is.
Okay. How old is she? I think she looks late 20s to me. Oh, she doesn't have age. Let's look at the. Let's see if at least she's covered up. Please God, this last one killed me. Okay, this is a little better than the last one. I have a little bit more hope. Not really, but. Are we going to label him a Chad guy? He is pretty tall. He is pretty tall. Are we going to?
Okay.
All right, put in the comments if you think he's a alpha or a beta. You guys get to pick. Alpha or beta. Put it in the comments. The men. All right, let's use next. Oh, this guy again. All right, and so when you guys call in,
So me and my husband waited for marriage.
I want to know what you guys have seen and experienced, and I'm gonna tell you guys a couple of my experiences of what I've seen in a lot of these like religious backgrounds.
And girl, I do not regret it. I'm gonna take you on a little story time, okay? He had been saved since he was 4. I had been walling out in the trenches of the world. He had been a virgin his whole life. I had been far from, okay? That's where we're starting. We got together when I had been saved for about a year, and he had been
She's gonna ruin his life. That's a recipe for disaster.
single for about 10. I had been single for about 3 minutes. It wasn't 3 minutes. It was longer than that. I had a single season with Jesus, but it wasn't very long, okay? And so when we got together, the Lord had to put his hand so graciously on our relationship and give us strength because your girl was not so fond of patience, you know? From the time we started dating until the time we got married was literally less than 6 months. The Bible says, rather you marry than burn with lust, and we said, say no more. But for real, we both had confirmation from the Lord that we were going to get married. We knew very early on, a week into our relationship, that we were going to be husband and wife. So we start dating. We start loving each other.
Because remember, a lot of times women, when they're dating you, they don't know if they want you or the kid or you or the wedding. And that's why the guys that are getting sex for free, they really know that the girl likes them because they're not giving shit in return. Why are you preaching people to not wait till marriage? That's ungodly of you. Let me guess, Elizabeth, you're going to try to sell me that you're a virgin. Right.
Like more than I can tell you I've ever loved anything or anyone in my life.
The women are going to hate this because I'm spilling the game here. I'm spilling the game. Marriage, marriage is a way for women to get a beta to bail them out. And then she can ruin your life later. Remember how this worked out for Crowder? That's the other thing. All these guys that touted this stuff, they keep ending up in these super simp marriages or getting divorced.
Second to Jesus. And I was obsessed. I am still obsessed with this man. The thought, the look of this man sent me to Mars. And you're probably going to experience this. It was very hard for us to practice self-control. Now, did we wait? We did. We absolutely did wait for marriage. And my goodness, I cannot tell you the difference between you know what in the world and you know what in the kingdom.
It just doesn't make sense. I don't believe there's a big difference. Because you guys took vows. The vows don't even mean anything. Women are leaving after like 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, if you said to me, waiting till marriage is super different. And I saw really different results, right? And I looked at the couples and I said, wow, they're going to make it. But you guys keep putting out these ex-hoes.
You think you've experienced you know what, but you haven't. You've experienced sin and sin alone, and that ain't the same. But we did mess up. We were doing and feeling and touching other things that we should not been doing, feeling, and touching. And I want to tell you and just...
She was glucking. She's a mid. That's how she got the ring. Boom. Case closed.
Be honest with you about our story so that...
Marriage is just a made-up thing like taxes, passports, countries, borders. I don't know. I'm starting to think... The longer I'm alive, the more I think it was made up by women. Because it's just such a great get out of jail free card where you don't have to do anything. Oh, the only burden of performance is to be young, cute, and not even young anymore, to be cute and not have sex. That's way harder than like not nagging or being likable. All you have to do is not have sex.
You cannot make the same mistakes because I wish you would have saved.
Guys, trust. There are women that wait until marriage. How old are you, Elizabeth? Give me your age. Give me your age. Give me your age. Are you going to call in? I better see you on the Zoom.
Every little thing. I wish we wouldn't have slept in the bed together before marriage. I wish we wouldn't have been, you know what, before marriage. I wish we wouldn't have made out before marriage. Now knowing how sweet it is when you wait and how blessed it is when you wait, I wish we would have saved everything. I'm so for real. I probably would have waited to kiss until marriage. Now knowing how blessed it is when you do, I would have wanted to experience everything to that kind of fullness. But when we got married.
All right. So Elizabeth is 19, almost 20, and she expects me to believe. Let me get this straight. So, all right. The average girl loses her virginity at 16. And you, some girls as early as 14, you start to get a sex drive. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You had 6 years of having a healthy sex drive, especially when you're young. I mean, these young women are fucking anything these days. And you're expecting me to believe that you never got fingered, you never backdoor blew. I'm not as dumb as your simps, okay? I'm not. And you can tell me that, but women are deceitful. And I've had a lot of women on the show tell me they were virgins. And I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
Let me tell you, there's nothing like it on the face of the earth. It is literally a picture.
Yes, self-control is key. Yeah, like women have self-control.
Of Christ uniting the bridegroom with the bride.
And let me get this straight. I want to add to that. So let me get this straight. On top of that, you have a phone and you have an iPhone and you have a dating app that can get you 1,000 matches in a day. And you could put the pin in a different city and have a guy it could be completely anonymous. You'd never see him again. And you expect me to believe that in 6 years you never did that. Sure. All right. Okay. Yeah, I did have faith until I started talking to women. That's so true. That's so true. Yeah. I won't even lie to you guys, because I could give you a background of my faith stuff, but I was pretty I went to Catholic church probably till I was 23. And I was in and out until my mid 20s, I would say, but oh my God. These women, they definitely made me lose faith. They really did.